Hey, what's good, Westworld fans? This is the Campfire Crew, and we're here to talk about Westworld Episode 3, The Stray. We've got 7 moments that we're going to break down and talk about, and like most of these episodes, I end the episode with more questions than I have answers, but I'm okay with that. I enjoy that actually because it looks like we're getting a very intriguing, nice, slow build-up to something awesome. I also have like a really crazy what-if theory dealing with one of the main characters. I'll talk about that here in a moment. Let's go ahead and jump into moment number 1. Bernie gives Dolores a book, Alice in Wonderland, and apparently has been giving her several books all regarding change. Okay, it's like, is he trying to push her in a certain direction? At first I thought he was working with Dr. Ford with his ultimate plan, whatever that is. But it turns out later on in the episode that he doesn't really know what Dr. Ford is up to. So then I go back to thinking that maybe Bernie's just what he is. He's just a scientist who's completely fascinated with the fact that some of these hosts are starting to evolve past their programming, and that he's just chosen Dolores to just kind of run tests on, read books, not wipe her memory, and just study her.
William finally pops his cherry.
Who popped your cherry?
He finally kills a host. And I mean, it felt like it took forever for him to do it. I mean, this guy is running, killing people. He's got this girl hostage, and it's like it takes William forever to get the courage up to finally do something about it. And then when he does sort of go after him, he gets shot. Now, what's interesting about him getting shot is it seems like it kind of hurt him a little bit. You know, all the other times we've seen the man in black get shot, and it's as if it's ricocheting off of him. He just takes it and goes. Maybe it's because he's more experienced. But either way, it's really interesting how when he got shot, he actually kind of felt it a little bit. But, you know, he was able to get up from it. But he did finally do that, and by doing that, he got the excitement in his veins, and he's ready to go out on an adventure and decides, you know what, we're going to go hunt this guy down, and him and his friend head out.
Teddy finally gets a backstory, and maybe his backstory will help him not get killed every episode. Because right now, Teddy's being killed more times than Carmen in South Park. I found this information curious because it turns out later on in the episode that all hosts are built with a backstory, and that it happens to be the cornerstone on which everything is built upon, giving them layers of depth. But Teddy was never given a backstory. He was just given a backstory by the touch of a button. It was like instantaneous. Really reminded me of the...
That was like the Matrix.
You know, now that I'm thinking about it, man, that is a lot of power for one man to have. Ultimately, if he wanted to, Dr. Ford could push a button and upload a completely new program into all the androids or all the hosts in the park, saying, hey, obey my will and kill everybody. Basically, that's what they let me know in this one little scene. But I don't know, I found it was interesting how quickly he was giving us backstory that has to do with this new storyline that Dr. Ford has planned.
I ain't chopping any more wood.
A couple hosts get caught in a loop.
Spend more time on your back in a hooker and heat.
Okay, where they're doing the same thing over and over again, all because the Woodchopper left. Now this is funny because you figure this one person was so pivotal to their entire situation. If he leaves, he won't chop the wood, so they're all standing around, I'm not chopping the wood, well, I'm not chopping the wood, well, I'm not chopping the wood. No one chops the wood, it never gets done, the fire never gets started, they never eat, they never move on. Okay, it's very funny. What's interesting about how they explain this is because they talk about the backstory of these characters being the anchor for them, as if the program itself needs an anchor to keep it moving. Something I think will be very important later on.
Okay, we finally find out who this mysterious voice is, who's been talking to the host, having them act all crazy, and it turns out to be Arnold. Dr. Arnold, I guess is what we'll call him, because he was Dr. Ford's partner. They worked on this park 3 years before the park opened, fine-tuning the androids, and Arnold was completely, fascinated with the fact that he wanted more from the androids. It's ultimately, he wrote code that would allow them to have free will. Okay, that was his vision. That was what he wanted. Apparently this code actually got written. It was installed on at least the original androids from the park, because they said that fragments of his code is now being heard by by the androids, okay? So they hear their programming as internal monologues, and the whole idea was that these internal monologues would eventually turn into their own thoughts or their own words, and it caused them to evolve over time. A couple questions I have with this is, one, why are they just now hearing this code? Is that part of the programming initially was like, now it's time, it's been that amount of time long for now it's just now developing? Is it just now being activated by Dr. Ford? Who knows? Something else that's very mysterious about this is that Dr. Ford says, oh, he dies. They say it was an accident, but I know he was very, very careful. He died in a park. So does that mean, was he killed by a host? Was he killed by a host because he actually achieved his goal of giving them free will and he was turned upon? Not really sure. They made it sound like he was maybe murdered. They covered it up. I don't know. There's a whole nother mystery involving this Arnold. Here's my crazy what if theory. Okay, follow me here. What if Dr. Arnold's not dead, he faked this death, and Dr. Ford actually died, and then he created an android to be Dr. Ford? What if Dr. Ford is actually an android? And the reason what made me think about that is, you know, the one guy who was hunting down the stray, and he talks about that constellation on the rock, and he was like, maybe it's written in my backstory, which made me think. It's not too far-fetched to think that maybe somebody posing as a human is actually an android, right? Because these people are realistic. So what if Dr. Arnold programmed an android to act like Dr. Ford and, you know, act as a human to carry out his wishes, and now's the time to activate his code and he's still alive giving these messages to people? I don't know. Crazy thought. Let me know what you think about that.
As Teddy and the sheriff are making their way through this new adventure, if you will, the savages appear. Or are they savages? I don't know. They're wearing masks and they look crazy. And the sheriff, man, he gets messed up. They cut him up and kill him. The sheriff is down. Teddy's getting attacked. And literally, it scares the crap out of the people. And they run away. Well, actually, it's just one girl. But the other guy ran away before they even got to this point. This storyline that Ford is creating is so scary that even though you know it's fake, you're still scared to death of it and unwilling to participate in it, which is really funny and really exciting. But you can feel that there's definitely more of a story coming for Ford. This is just the beginning of something that's going to be very, very interesting.
We jump back to Bernie and Dolores. Bernie asked Dolores if she's going to stay on loop. You know, are you going to stay on loop? Which kind of implies that maybe she has the ability to go off loop at will, and that Bernie knows about this, or that Dolores has been faking this whole time. I don't know. I found that interesting, that the way it was worded. Fast forward to the end of her loop. She comes home. The cattle's roaming around. Her father gets killed. She gets thrown in the barn. She's about to get raped. Lo and behold, here's a gun. Shoots the guy in the neck because she heard the mysterious voice. Not mysterious anymore, but she hears the voice of Arnold telling her, "Shoot him." What I think is very significant about this scene is that I think she has been conditioned to be able to shoot this firearm. I think she's much like the Woodchopper. You know, they said like they got stuck in a loop because nobody else was programmed to handle that axe. Nobody could handle that axe. They're not authorized to. Only this one character, which makes me think that Dolores was not programmed to shoot a gun, that she physically couldn't. That's why you had that whole bit about Teddy trying to show her how to shoot and the hammer's all the way cocked back, but she just can't pull the trigger. I think she physically couldn't because she was programmed not to. Now we show that she has gone off loop. She's been told by Arnold to go off loop. She kills somebody she wasn't supposed to kill by firing a firearm and then runs off. Again, more questions than answers. But every episode I dive deeper and deeper into the story, and I find it very awesome. I would love to know what you guys think in the comment section below. What do you think about that crazy what-if theory that Dr. Ford might actually be an android that was created by Arnold, who's still alive? Anyway, guys, that's the video we have for today. Like the video if you liked the video. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Next Monday, we're going to be giving you a Walking Dead spoilers prediction video leading into Season 7. Super excited about that. So next Monday, you're going to be getting a Westworld video and a Walking Dead video. Really excited. Until next time, guys, we out.